Welcome back to another episode of Spilling Tea with Samantha and Dr. B.
That's me! That sounded really horse-like.
That's fine.
It's the only part of me that is horse-like. Oh.
You're kind of out of the frame now that I
okay.
think about it. Yeah, you gotta
let's do this. Now I'm back in.
Okay.
All right. So in today's episode,
yes.
Just wanted to talk a little bit about, I heard this on the radio the other day. I thought it was really fascinating.
What happened?
So the DJ was talking about their brother who had been in a relationship with somebody like way back in their college days, and then was reconnecting with this old flame. Now this old flame is already in a relationship with somebody, and living together. Like it was a long-term relationship. And he was thinking about saying, hey, you want to try to rekindle this? And they while she's in this relationship with somebody else.
Okay.
And it just got me thinking, because they had a viewer that emailed in and said, if you're not married, then you're fair game.
That's a new one.
Completely fair game.
Okay.
So if there's no marriage commitment, 100% fair game. No matter how many years you've been together, what you've been doing, if you live together, you could be together for 23 years, have children together, but if you're not married, you're fair game.
So it's like you need to have a definition of what commitment is, what relationships.
Well, but I mean that's like on the idea for like the person in the relationship is to have an idea of what commitment means, which is always good to have.
So the person who's already partnered up,
yeah,
they need to know without a doubt, I am a monogamous, I am poly, I'm
yes. Exactly. And then, but then like if somebody else is single, so like let's say that I was single, I was not married or what, this is what the person is saying.
Oh.
Let's say that like I was single, I'm not married, and let's say that you are married, and I was interested in asking Mike out, let's say.
I'm married to Mike.
Yes.
Okay.
I could go and I could ask Mike out, and that's perfectly acceptable, even if I know that he's in a relationship. Because I can pursue somebody or do whatever I want to do because I'm single. It's up to Mike to decide to say, no, I'm committed. I'm in a relationship or I'm not in a relationship. As well as like...
Because you can ask anybody that you want out.
Anybody, yeah.
I can be like, hey, what are you doing here? You want to go get some chin-chin?
And I'd be like, no, because that's weird, Samantha.
But I could do it. You can turn me down and no one's...
Exactly.
Nothing's wrong.
Right, and it just seems like there's the, like, they were talking about this, like, odd switcheroo, though, where it's like, it's not about, like, the commitment occurs in a relationship only when there's a marriage.
Yeah, that's just weird to me, because not everyone wants to be married, but they want to be in a life partnership or a relationship of however they define it.
Yeah.
And it's like putting a lot of responsibility and, I would say, pressure on the person who's committed outside of the person who's like, you want to go out?
Yeah. And, you know, to be like 100% honest, like real talk, I never wanted to be married. Absolutely.
I hear that. How'd we get here?
Nobody knows.
We're not married to each other.
No, we're not at all.
We will say that yet again. We are not married to each other.
You see this look? No.
Armpit.
Sorry.
Armpit.
No, but like...
You're going to have to watch the preview.
Yeah. But, so, like, you know, the thing is that, like, and for 5 years, me and my wife, like, we were not getting married.
Yeah.
Because it was like, no, I very specifically did not want to get married. This was before marriage was equal for everybody, and I felt very, very strongly that I shouldn't be allowed to get married and be given that privilege when it's denied to somebody else.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get married because it just was...
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm not interested in that.
And, you know, and now that I'm, like, married, there's a lot of, like, benefits that come to it in terms of, like, taxes and everything else like that. Like, it is good. It is good, and now that everybody can get married, it's, you know, it's okay, fine.
It's getting better.
Married. Yeah.
No,
still...
I like being married, too, because there are benefits. There's social benefits outside of what you said legally. Yeah. But there's social... I mean, you're looked at differently. Like, I actually feel part of my in-law family instead of being like, there's the feminist bitch in the corner. It's this weird kind of stance, you know, it becomes like, oh, this person is a solid figure in this other person's life therefore I need to respect them more because they're a wife, they're a husband.
Yeah. Or like somehow, I mean, let's be honest. It's harder to split up and end a relationship when you're married.
Yeah.
It just is. There's legalities, there's paperwork, there's court, children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I mean, a lot of that stuff can still happen when you're just living together. Oh, God, that sounded horrible too. Just living together. When you're living together or in a long-term relationship.
This is the conversation we're having today, so everybody calm down. Everyone, drink some tea.
Right.
Calm down.
But it's you know, it's one of those things where it is harder. It's harder because there's a lot more that goes into it. So yeah, there is kind of, I think, like maybe legally there's a higher commitment level. Like you're willing to say, I can't walk out tomorrow. By signing this piece of paper, I can walk out tomorrow, but we're still legally connected, you know, for a while kind of thing. And you're saying, I agree that I'm going to make it really hard for us to break up.
I think it goes back to the church though too. Legalizing children, having it be
legitimizing, you mean? Legitimizing the children? Legalizing?
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, it works either way. Legalizing,
literally making the child not a bastard anymore. Like, then you know that these two people made this thing, and this thing, baby, this child. This human life. It really does go back to the church and like the church taking over that and making that a way for the church to make money, and then to make everybody feel like if they don't have that, they're less.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's another regulation on sex, y'all.
It really is, because also you are not supposed to have sex until you got married. What is that about? How come I sign a piece of paper and now I'm allowed to have sex?
I feel like, okay, I can't say how much time we have on there. We're doing good. Okay. But I feel like we got off your main topic.
Oh yeah, that's true. We're just getting into like marriage in general. But yeah, like we're just wondering about like the different relationship styles, and is it acceptable for a person to ask or pursue somebody when they're not in a marriage? Like, because basically that's what this viewer or listener was saying on the radio, was that if you're not in a marriage, like you're not legally signed on the line, then everybody is fair game.
So I think you can ask whatever you want. I get asked really weird questions in my everyday life. You can ask me whatever you want. I choose to answer or acknowledge. That's my power. That's my choice. I don't think you have the right to pursue if you already have your answer.
Well, but what's the answer?
Well, if it's no.
So, like, if somebody were to say, hey, I'm interested in you, and then they say no.
Yeah. So if you were like, hey, are you interested? I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah. Then
thank you, and I'm committed, whatever.
Then you're being a weirdo.
Then you're being a weirdo.
Yeah.
But, like, again, you can ask whatever you want. Let's say that person then says, oh, I'm poly. Like, here's my partner. Let's do this.
Well, and
that's a completely different subject, I think, than what this DJ, the brother, was experiencing.
First of all, on the radio, they were not talking at all about poly relationships, that possibility, as well as addressing several other issues that were part of this story. But because my thought was, even if somebody is married, how do you know they're not poly, that they're not actually open to that? And so that's where I think it is okay to ask somebody if they're interested, but it should be respectful in a way. And I think you should do that with everybody, whether or not they're married. You know, like even if you want to like ask somebody out and you know they're single, you know they're dating, or you know they're in a marriage, okay, well you can still ask them. If they say no, then be like, okay, that's fine, because anybody could be poly.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, now that we're talking about this, I remember dating a guy who was just dating. I didn't think our relationship was serious because it was just dating. And I completely jumped ship when I found my current partner, because I was like not really committed and interested in pursuing the long-term thing. It was just dating, and then when my partner walked in, it was like no one else existed. Ta-da! So I think it's a deep personal choice on how you want to be in the world, what kind of relationships you want. Yeah. If you're monogamous.
There's just tea.
But I think it's deeply personal. Like, we can't answer this, I don't think.
No.
I think
you'll
have a different answer. Yeah, I'll have a different answer. I feel no regret jumping ship.
So, but like, what if, like, how do you feel about like what I was saying though? Like, everybody has the opportunity and the right to ask questions and kind of like
you
say
can ask
like
whatever you want.
And I firmly believe that like I'm not poly. I am monogamous in my current relationship, and so like I'm not going to go out there and ask people whether or not they're interested in having a relationship with me.
Right.
But I do not feel offended or upset at all, which doesn't ever happen. But
I get offended when people ask me.
Self-esteem. Just kidding.
I get offended when people ask me though.
You do? You get offended when people ask you?
You know why? Because I know what's happening next. People get angry.
Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So when people ask me about my relationship status or
and they say that they want to have a relationship with you.
Then I'm like, here we go. And I say my status and say no thank you, but that was kind, thank you. They get mad every time. It's like, I think a problem.
That probably has a lot to do with like my privilege as a man.
Yeah.
Like as a man, like first of all, I rarely, even when I was single, rarely got approached because it's a man's job to approach the female and start the relationship. So I rarely, if ever, got approached, especially because during that time I was in small town Michigan, kind of thing. You know, and I think that, so that's why I think you get approached at much higher rates.
Yeah.
And like your rejection, even if it's a very polite, respectful rejection, which it sounds like it is seen as a slight on the manhood or masculinity of the person.
You know what's funny? I've never been approached or asked out to my face.
Really?
Yeah. No
That's
one's
odd.
ever asked me out on a date to my face.
How did you and Mike get together? How did he ask you out?
I asked him out.
Really? Good for you.
Mama sees what she likes, she gets it. Okay?
She was like, I'm gonna get that hot dog.
Oh god, I liked him from the very beginning. Like I saw a picture of him and I was cock blocked hard by someone else. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, we're gonna end on that note because that's too much tea and I'm not ready for that.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe next time.
But yeah, we are interested in your thoughts and your perceptions about relationships, and I'm actually getting ready to post some blogs and stuff about different relationship styles and like just exploring some of those different things and asking some opinions. So look to chrispost.com for that, and maybe we can talk about some of that too.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Again, if you have any questions or concerns, let us know. We have the email address, the anonymous feature on both our websites, and of course in the comments below. And that's it for now, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Spilling.
Dun, dun, dun. I feel like there should have been like some kind of like promo, like on next week's episode. We don't have that.
We're not that.
We're filming this on an iPad. Let's be honest.
We're legit.